Hello YouTube, I'm back and I'm going to answer 20 questions about my loc. So it's an old YouTube tag. I think the last video I saw about it was from at least last year. So it's nothing current, but I thought it would be nice for you guys to get to know my locs a bit. So the first question is, do you remember the specific moment you decided you were going to lock your hair? So I do. It was while I was preparing for my interviews to get to medical school, I went online and I was on these I was in a chat room back in the day of chat rooms. I was on all these groups where people were discussing how to prepare and we were quizzing each other. And I remember organizing a Skype chat with someone. So we organized a Skype chat to practice interviewing for medical school. And one of the people on that Skype chat had really small, really gorgeous locks. And I remember asking her about it. And she mentioned that she had braid locks. And so then I started searching on that. And then it just sort of spiraled out and lots of YouTube videos later. And that's how I decided to get them. So I can't remember the exact moment, but I definitely remember how it sort of got started. What method did you use to start your locks? So definitely did braid locks first. I did them because they were ideal for my activity level. I don't actually exercise that much, but it was ideal for occasional exercising and being able to shower. It's ideal because the weather is so hot and so sweaty. I want to be able to wash my hair as often as I need to. And it was just ideal because it would give me the neatest looks that I could maintain, I guess. So twisting for me, sort of more of twisty maintenance, feels like you have to commit a bit longer. So with braid locks and with interlocking, I can interlock one and abandon it and then later come and interlock another, and they remain interlocked, so I don't have to wait for them to dry. I don't have to do, there's just I think it really works with my lifestyle and my personality, I think. How old are your locks? I started them in January 2012, I think. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. Yes, January 2012. So they are about 4 years and 10 months or 10, yeah, I think about 10 months, almost 5 years. The length of my longest loc. Oh, let's find out the length of my longest locks. I don't know. Alright, so that is 24 centimeters. That looks like a pretty short one. This one looks pretty long. $35 centimeters. See if we can find something longer than that. $35 centimeters. Maybe this one. This one looks a bit longer. $37 centimeters. So it's probably 37 centimeters. I think my hair ranges from 24 to 37 centimeters based on this very quick scientific study of measuring 3 of them. Do you have any looks that are especially unique or strange? I think they're all a bit lumpy and a bit weird. Some are a bit long, some are a bit short, they're all special. I did combine some of my looks initially. So I think the next question, I'll answer these questions together. So how many locks do you have currently? So at the moment, I did count, I have 190 locks. Is that the same number I started with? No. So I did combine a lot of my locks in the edges. So because my mom was doing them, and she didn't really know what she was doing. We don't know a lot of other people with locks. So it was just a conversation between me and mom and what we should do. So when she got to the edges, she'll just, try and grab the little bits of hair and do a braid in there as well. So there were some really tiny ones on the edges, and I did combine them. So I have 190 now, had a lot more to start with. Probably would have had more than 200 to start with, but I don't have any two-headed dragons because I combined quite early on. And what I did, so if I was going to combine these two, because it was all quite loose at the time, I interlocked the lock through the other one. So I would put the the wool needle through this one and braid it through the lock, and it sort of weaved through, and then at the end where the hair was still loose, I'd braid them together. So I think I interlocked early enough that I don't even have any two-headed dragons. I just have some fat ones, some thin ones, some long ones, some short ones, so nothing particularly unique. What shampoo or other products do you use? Absolutely nothing interesting. I use Head & Shoulders because I like the tingly feeling, and I use coconut spray now because I'm trying it out to see if it makes any difference, but I basically use whatever is available. To be honest guys, I used olive oil spray from the kitchen section initially, like the first week of my hair. I was like, I don't know. Everyone on YouTube is talking about oils and fancy oils, and the closest thing I could find was olive oil spray in like the cooking section, so that did the job. And yeah, I'm just really I'm a bit lazy with my hair products. I just don't think it makes much of a difference. Like, it's very hard for me to buy into, buy this fancy new thing that's going to be special for your hair. I'm like, my hair just needs oil, so it will get oil wherever I feel like finding oil. How often do I wash my locks? Probably, I think on average once a week, but that depends. So if it gets really hot and sweaty, if it gets really cold, if it gets itchy, if it gets whatever, I'm not going to wash it. If I curl it though, so if I put pipe cleaner curls in, because I love the pipe cleaner curls so much, I'll make a video about it soon, I kind of don't wash my hair. I stop exercising and I don't wash my hair because I love those curls and I want to keep them for as long as possible. Do you do any regular maintenance on your locks? Nothing really fancy. I interlock. That's it. That's my only maintenance. I don't know what else people do. So I interlock my hair probably once a month, or if something important is going to happen. So if there's any particular special event that I need to look particularly clean for, roughly once a month. Or if I don't feel like it, once every 5 or 6 weeks. Favorite beads or other decorations? I really want to get decorations. I don't know why I haven't. It's probably because I can't find them. I have seen, I really want to get decorations. I should put more effort into getting decorations. I should go to Spotlight. I'm going to go to the sort of haberdashery store and see if I can find some decorations. I need to try. If your locks had their own personal motto, what would it be? I have no idea. I don't know. I think it would be, I don't know. I've never thought about that. I don't even know what my own personal motto is, so I don't know what my hair's motto would be. If you could start a new set of locks, would you do anything differently? No. So actually, I think I'm really happy with the choices that I made. So the outcome of my locks is exactly what I would have wanted. The initial period was really distressing for me, but I did do a set of yarn braids which helped resolve the, like, oh my gosh, they look so pathetic look. I don't know. I don't actually think I would do very much different. I got the outcome that I wanted and I'm really loving my locks. Maybe I would have started earlier. Is there anything else unique about your look other than your locks? Not really. Well, other than God created me, I'm an individual, there's no one else on this planet that looks like me. No. So there's nothing else. I have one set of piercing, absolutely nothing fascinating. Got them when I was, I want to say 10 or when I turned 13. It was on a special birthday. It was like really exciting. And haven't gotten anything else ever since. I do like the idea of tattoos. I think they look really cool and I think they would be awesome. But I can't think of something that I would want written on my body forever. Because even though locks are permanent, they change every day. My locks are a bit longer. Every day I can do different styles, and I really like that versatility. So I don't think I can commit to something like a tattoo. I just don't think it fits with my personality. How many people do you know personally with locks? So my mom started her locks less than a month after me. She copied me. Unfortunately, her hair grows faster than my hair, so when we are together, her locks are longer than mine, and so everyone is always convinced that I copied her, and I always feel the need to sort of be like, no, it was my idea. I'm the mastermind behind this. But yeah, so my mom, I know personally. I've known for her whole lock journey. I've known her for all of my journey of everything. And then I think there's 2 men in my workplace that have locks. I don't work in the same department as them, but I think I've seen at least 2 people in passing. I don't really know them personally. We don't really talk. It's not a community of any variety. It's not a community in any sense of the word, but I do know 2 other people somewhere with locks. Have employers turned you down for having locks? Nah, it hasn't been an issue. It hasn't been an issue. So my current job, I got this job with a phone interview. I sent in my paperwork and then I got a phone interview. So they hired me before they even saw me. And I don't know if it would have been an issue, but I don't think so. Is it because of the field I work in or because of the town I work in? I don't know. I'd have to know a lot more people with locks to get an idea whether that's a problem or not in Australia or in Queensland. So I don't know. What is the weirdest question you've gotten about your locks? The dumbest, funniest, most common. So the most common questions I get is definitely about washing. Do you wash your hair? How often do you wash your hair? How do you wash your hair? I also get a lot of questions about how it's done, and I never know how to answer that question. So when someone comes up to me and is like, wow, your hair's, really cool. How do you do that? And I'm never quite sure if they want the details, because the answer, I interlock, is not going to be a good enough answer because clearly they're not going to know what that is. So I'm tempted to sit and be like, okay, so when my hair grows out, I take the hair and I twist it through. It's complicated. I do a thing. It's like a braiding, tying knot thing. That's kind of my answer, which is a horrible answer, and I hate giving that answer, but I hate that question. I think it's a weird question because I'm sitting there going, are you asking because you want to know how to do it? I know you don't want to know. You don't want to know how to do it. It's not like you're going to do it on yourself. You're just curious. So I want to satisfy your curiosity, but without wasting my time and spending an hour trying to explain how my hair works. So it's a really common question for me because I know that I sit there and I'm like, okay, so let me grab a piece of your hair. So if I braid your hair and then it grows and then there's this section of new growth at the bottom and then I'll take it's just, I hate that question. I think now that I've got a YouTube video, maybe that's what now that I've got a YouTube channel, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be like, here's my YouTube channel, go watch and you can learn all about it. But that's the thing, I don't think they care that much. Do you know what I mean? I'll try it. I will try it, and next time someone asks me that question, I will send them to my YouTube channel and see if they actually are interested enough to want to know how it's done, or they're just they were just making conversation. They could also just be making conversation. The dumbest questions, no, I guess, look, I accept that I questions I get are out of ignorance, so they're not, I don't want to say they're dumb questions. It's really hard for people. I totally accept that they've got a very different set of hair. Their hair behaves and acts really differently. So it's understandable that they don't understand how my hair behaves. So, yeah. I'll try and be nice. Have you ever had a freak accident or an embarrassing moment involving your locks? Not really. I mean, they're not freakishly long that they get caught in things. I think, wait, I do remember one. I was in an exercise class. And I lost a bit of my hair, a bit of it just fell down. We were on the ground doing sit-ups and getting our workout on, and I stood up and noticed a 1-inch section of hair, so a lot of my ends did fall off. Just when I think when I started interlocking, my first interlock was too tight, so there was an area of thinness, and some of them did fall off from that point. So stood up in this sort of, everyone's working out, and there's a 1-inch bit of hair on the floor, and I remember trying to figure out how to pick up that hair, and then I didn't have any pockets, how to hide it so I can throw it away later, because clearly I'm the only one in my exercise class with my hair type, so everyone's going to look at it and be like, that's clearly yours. It can't be anybody else's here. So I think that was it. I did manage to slide it into my waist, the waistband of my exercise pants, and just be like, nobody saw anything. It's all good. But yeah, nothing else. Nothing too dramatic. Do I have any locked role models? If so, who? So when I started, I loved so many people on YouTube, especially Bronze Goddess, who I've mentioned before. Pretty Poison was someone else that I watched. I think she just had really pretty locks. There's so many people I watched, and I think I've reached the point where I actually really like my locks. Like, I am my own lock role model, because I sometimes look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, look, it's hair. And that's really exciting to me. So I don't watch people in the same way that I did. I watch them now to sort of get ideas and try different things, but I used to watch before to just be like, oh wow, hair. Like, it's so cool. Absolutely. So what locked YouTubers would you see yourself hanging out with in real life? I would love to hang out with Bronze Goddess. I know, this is like the 10th time I'm mentioning her. Because she actually does hang out with people. She has like retreats and getaways and seminars and stuff. If she's ever on this continent, maybe. It's just all a bit too expensive. But yeah, I would love to hang out with her because she is, she's a Christian, she's absolutely gorgeous, and she's a family woman, but she's also really passionate and independent and has all these goals for women in general. I just love her. Would love to hang out with her. And then on top of that, I'm meeting lots of new YouTubers, and they're sort of doing their own thing while I'm doing my own thing, and we're kind of building our channels at the same time, and I'd kind of like to meet them. I think it's a really cool, YouTube is such a huge place, and it's really cool when you find someone on the other side of the world doing something similar to what you're doing. So yeah, I'd love to meet some of them as well. And finally, who am I going to tag? I'm tagging every single person watching this video. Please comment. Leave a comment at the bottom and say when you've made your video, and I'll come and watch because I'd love to sort of hear other people's thoughts and other people's experiences as well. Thank you so much for watching. Why don't you comment? And why don't you maybe comment and subscribe? And if you're feeling really good, you can even rate it thumbs up.